There's a train driver in Chur who has started work at 4:40 in the morning for 22 years. He has never needed an alarm with a snooze button because he has never needed a second attempt. In bed by 9:30, a little under 7 hours. He wakes before the alarm most days. And by 5, he is at the front of a train carrying 400 people through mountains in the dark, fully awake, without coffee. Meanwhile, somewhere else this morning, a person who spent 8.5 hours in bed is sitting on the edge of it, with their face in their hands, already negotiating with the day. They did everything the internet told them. 8 hours, blackout curtains, an app that scored their night, and they feel like they've been hit by something. So here's the question this video answers. What if the amount of sleep was never the problem? The train driver sleeps less and wakes up better. And it isn't genetics, and it isn't discipline. It's that the 6 hours before he sleeps are built a completely different way. Switzerland runs on some of the earliest and most rigid daily rhythms in Europe, and it shows in how ordinary Swiss people handle mornings. 7 habits. By the end, you'll have all 7. Number 4 is the one you'll want to argue with. Number 7 is the one almost nobody is willing to do, and it matters most. But first, the idea that has to go, because it's the reason you keep failing at this. We've been told the equation is simple. More hours in bed, better rest. For an enormous number of people, it doesn't hold up. And the reason is what sleep researchers call sleep efficiency, the share of your time in bed that you're actually asleep. 2 people both lie down for 8 hours. One is asleep for 7.5 in long, uninterrupted stretches. The other for 5 3/4 in pieces, surfacing 11 times without remembering any of it. Same 8 hours on paper. Completely different mornings. When you add more time in bed to fix bad sleep, you usually get more bad sleep. You're expanding the container instead of fixing what's in it. And here's the part that should make you a little angry. There is an enormous industry selling you objects for this problem. Mattresses, rings, apps, supplements, sprays, gadgets that score your night and then charge you monthly to be told you slept badly. Almost none of the 7 things the train driver does costs money. Habit 1. The room is cold, and the air in it was replaced today. Swiss bedrooms run cool, and in German-speaking Switzerland, there's a daily practice called lüften. Windows opened wide, all the way, for 10 minutes or so, letting the whole volume of air in the room turn over. It happens in the morning, and often again before bed, in winter, in the snow, without debate. And the reason isn't fresh air as a nice idea. Your core temperature has to drop for sleep to begin, and it drops far more easily in a cool room, which is why the research keeps landing on temperatures that sound too cold to most people, somewhere in the mid to upper 60s Fahrenheit. A warm, stuffy room asks your body to do the hardest part of falling asleep with the thermostat against it. Tonight, windows wide for 10 minutes before bed, then heat down a few degrees. That's habit 1. It's free, and it's the one you'll feel first. Habit 2. Dinner is early, and it's small. In Switzerland, the evening meal is often the lightest of the day. Frequently bread, cheese, something cold, eaten early, and the heavy meal happens at midday. Lie down 3 hours after a large late dinner, and your digestion is still running at full speed, while your body is trying to cool and shut down. The 2 processes are in direct competition, and digestion wins. You will fall asleep. That's not the issue. You'll just spend the first part of the night in shallow, unproductive sleep, and never know it happened. Tonight, finish eating 3 hours before bed and make it the smaller meal of the day. That's 2. Habit 3. The workday has a moment where it ends, and the moment is physical. The Swiss word is Feierabend, and it names the point when work stops and the evening becomes yours. It's honored like a border, not a preference. Something visible marks it. The clothes change, the laptop goes away, the walk home happens. Now consider your own evening. Work bleeds until 9. One more email at 10. Then you lie down and expect a nervous system that has been in mild alert for 14 straight hours to switch off in 20 minutes because you decided it's bedtime. Stress hormones have a schedule, and yours has no idea the day is over because nothing told it. Your body reads actions, not intentions. Tonight, one physical act at a fixed time. That means work is finished. Change your shirt, shut the door of the room you work in. That's 3. Now, habit 4, and this is the one you'll want to negotiate with. Habit 4, the wake time never moves. Not on Saturday, not on Sunday. The train driver's body knows what 4:20 means because it has never been told anything different. And here's the mechanism worth slowing down for. Your internal clock is set by when you wake, far more than by when you go to bed. Sleep in 3 hours on Sunday, and you've moved your clock into a different time zone. And Monday is genuine jet lag you gave yourself for free. Researchers call it social jet lag, and it's associated with worse sleep quality across the whole following week. So the weekend recovery sleep that feels like repair is often what ruins the next 5 days. I know how this sounds. You're tired, and I'm telling you not to sleep in, but you're not choosing between rest and no rest. You're choosing between one good Sunday morning and 5 bad mornings after it. Tonight, set one wake time, 7 days a week, and let the bedtime sort itself out. It will, within about a week. That's 4. Habit 5, light in the first 10 minutes, and it has to be outside. Get up and get your eyes into real daylight. Step onto the balcony. Walk to the end of the road. Swiss mornings do this by accident, because getting to work means walking to a train and standing on a platform in the open air. Indoor light, even bright indoor light, is a small fraction of the intensity outside on an overcast day. And morning light is the signal that starts the clock that decides when you'll get sleepy tonight. So this habit isn't about the morning at all. It's how you set up the evening. Tonight, meaning tomorrow morning. 10 minutes outside within half an hour of waking. No sunglasses, coffee in hand if you like. That's 5. Habit 6. There's a quiet hour, and the building enforces it. Swiss apartment buildings have real rules about evening noise, and people keep them. So the last stretch of the day is genuinely calm in a way most of us never experience. What that produces is a slope down into sleep instead of a cliff. Most evenings now are loud and bright until the exact second the lights go off. And then we lie in the dark expecting an instant transition. You can copy the mechanism without the law. Tonight, 1 hour before bed, with the volume of your home turned down. Lamps instead of overheads, no television, no calls, not a ritual, no candles required, just quieter and dimmer than the hour before it. That's 6. And now, habit 7, the one almost nobody will actually do. Habit 7. The bedroom is for sleeping, and nothing else lives there. In a Swiss home, the sleeping room tends to be strikingly bare. Bed, wardrobe, a lamp, a window that gets opened, and that's it. No desk with work on it. No laundry pile in the corner. No television. And the phone charges in another room. Here's the mechanism, and it's the most underestimated one in the field. Your brain builds associations with places, constantly, without asking you. If you answer emails in that room, scroll for an hour in that room, watch things that upset you there, then the room means alertness, and you've spent months training yourself to become alert in exactly the place you need to switch off. The phone is the center of it, not because of blue light, which is the least interesting part, but because it holds every unresolved thing in your life within arm's reach at 1 in the morning, which is why I'll just keep it there for the alarm, is the most expensive $4 you refuse to spend on a cheap clock. Tonight, the phone charges in another room, a clock on the bedside table. Everything work-related leaves. That's 7, and it's the one that changes the others. All 7 in one breath. Cold room, fresh air, small dinner, early, a hard end to the workday. The same wake time on Sunday as on Tuesday. Light outdoors, within 10 minutes of waking. A quiet, dim final hour. And a bedroom that holds nothing but sleep. Now the test I promised, because 7 changes at once is how people change nothing. 2 anchors, fix your wake time and fix your dinner time. Only those 2. For 1 week, every other habit gets easier once those are nailed down. Because between them, they set both ends of your internal clock and everything else is fine-tuning. Most people go after the bedroom and the light and the temperature first, keep their wake time floating, and wonder why nothing sticks. Bottom and top of the day first, the middle follows, and one honest note, because this matters. If you've been doing most of this and still wake up exhausted, or you're told you stop breathing at night, that isn't a habits problem and no list can fix it. That's worth a doctor's appointment. And it's a common thing, and it's treatable. Back to the train driver. Ask him about sleep, and you'll get a shrug, because he isn't managing anything. He eats at the same time. The room is cold. The day ends when it ends, and he gets up at the same hour, whether or not he feels like it. 7 hours, and he wakes before the alarm. He'd tell you he's just a man with a schedule. He is. That's the whole secret, and it's disappointingly available to you. Start with 2, wake time and dinner, tonight and tomorrow morning. So tell me which of the 7 you already do without thinking about it, and which one you know is your problem. I read the comments, and the habit that comes up most becomes its own video. And if you live with somebody whose alarm goes off 6 times every morning, send them habit 4. Gently. See you in the next one.